It's the end of the year on Football Daily, and so we're going through our highlights of the year with Patrick and Patrick.
How you doing?
Don't have Paddy, have two.
Yeah, that'll be a pleasure.
It is nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
That's all right.
Now, where should we start? Should we start with the imperious Barcelona side that people say ruling Europe right now?
I suppose the question what would make 2015 as like a great year of football is if Barcelona's zenith achievement, because you can't really do much more than what they've done in terms of the treble and winning the Club World Cup.
And that was a real achievement.
But I mean, it just adds to winning on everything that's kind of been put in front of them, more or less. Mm-hmm. The question is it better than the 2019 that also won the treble?
When we say it's better, do we mean if they were to face each other who would win, or do we mean is it better?
Well, is it better?
Right. Okay. What do you think?
Well, I think what stands out is the way Messi, Suarez, and Neymar is generally a phenomenal kind of new attacking force. MSN for the.
I mean, if you search that on that, you'll get what you want.
You'll pretty much almost certainly get what you want.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it just slightly different in terms of the success story of since Suarez was added to that lineup, and then Neymar coming through and developing the time that he did. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it literally clicked. And I think that's probably the most on the pitch, the most special moment, and the fact that the Messi could go out and the other two could raise their game.
Yeah. Although just keep their game at the same level and still achieve relatively well.
They ended up making up the goals that Messi would have scored.
Yeah. And Neymar really looks like he's going to take over and carry on winning Ballon d'Ors for Barcelona.
Well, that really is the thing, because it's 2015 could be the year when the Messi and Ronaldo debate sort of ends.
It's finally settled.
And Neymar is sort of assumes his place. You know what I mean? In that sort of in that top bracket.
You sort of think if Suarez hadn't bitten people a few years ago, and done all that other stuff that he did, the racism, then he might be in for the Ballon d'Or. But
he's a frustrating guy. But when you watch him, you immediately remember why you do, because he works so hard. He's so selfless. Yeah. He must be incredible to play with. Sounded bad.
No, it really must be.
But they're a totally different kind of proposition to the team they were in 2009.
We're talking about Eto'o, Henry, and Messi, aren't we?
And weirdly, they're more unpredictable now, aren't they? Like, that's what makes them a different proposition. Whereas before, maybe you could negate some of what you thought Eto'o or Henry.
Well, they can do both. They can do both. Kind of. That team in 2009, they were famous for the tiki taka and just the way they played the ball between each other.
It was Xavi led that team.
Really. And you feel this team also can do that, but can also play on the has the ability to switch the way it plays. Yeah. Therefore, I would say probably on the
better.
Just edge. You would edge it. They'd say they're better.
Yeah. I still like that 09 team though. Great team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's still an achievement.
Yeah. Of course,
still a good team.
They still got the seal of approval.
Yeah.
They were fine.
Yeah. You get Football Daily thumbs up.
The coveted golden thumb.
Now, possibly something that's a turning point in football this year has been the FIFA scandal and subsequently the UEFA scandal as well. Yeah. Because now we see both Blatter and Platini. Yeah. 8 years.
Well, that's just at one time in the film we've just found that out more or less in about an hour or so ago. Now the story goes back to June, doesn't it? When the FBI.
Who's she?
Pardon?
Oh right, okay, yeah.
The story goes back to June when the FBI kind of stormed in, and we were saying earlier on that it was quite a sweet cultural moment where the Americans come across sort of decades of footballing culture. Do you know what I mean? And why the hell do you let all this happen?
What the hell?
Yeah. Why is all this?
And people are just kind of like coins falling out of their pockets, saying, "Well, this is just how we've always done things."
Yeah. Just all the worst things happening in a room.
Yeah.
You just imagine the FBI just bursting in.
I think we take in England. I think there is a slight dysmorphia about. We feel kind of very much maligned and the victim of kind of people like Platini and Blatter and things like that. So there's a lot of pleasure taking being taken by the downfall of this sort of.
But maybe there's something to learn from that, because actually France didn't seem to have that dysmorphia, and they actually just went straight in for the Platini and sort of realised it would be a scar on the game if ultimately he was found to be fraudulent, which in some ways allegedly he is. And so they realised that and essentially accepted what had happened. And what we have to acknowledge here is that these two legends of the game. Yeah. Platini, Blatter's done different things, but Platini was a effortless player.
Yeah.
And almost effortlessly got to the top and was effortlessly going to become FIFA president.
So this isn't about the movie then, the Sepp Blatter movie.
The movie was freaking awful.
I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, you only need to see the trailer because there's not much else to it. I think what we also do is we turn a bit of a blind eye to certain things. So, we're still turning a blind eye to a lot of things within football. And even though people were sort of saying, well, the top people are going, there was still this sort of almost, there was still backing for people like Blatter and still backing for people because people were hedging their bets still. That those guys wouldn't get caught. So there wasn't this outright sort of outrage. People were still playing the political game, even though that game had been revealed. So that just, the barefaced nature of it within football, and it almost having nothing to do with what's going on the pitch, because they're two separate worlds, essentially. The bureaucracy and football are two separate things. It just so happens that they go and see football. They don't look interested in it. You know?
And there's this kind of jubilant, like, schadenfreude you get from people, from Greg Dyke in the FA or whatever, and what it kind of says is that we need to entirely rethink the way that these people get elected to this high office. They have so much power. Greg Dyke, I'm not sure that he's just because he's not kind of venal and corrupt, it doesn't mean that he's necessarily the right guy to be running a major football association. So it needs to be more transparent, and
way more transparent.
Maybe we'll look back on it as the year that things kind of changed for the better.
Or began to,
in world football.
At least the beginning of the breakdown. The rise of Leicester City and Jamie Vardy has been very much in 2015.
It has,
more towards the sort of the 2/3 of the end.
Well, no, it's the calendar year, isn't it? I mean, in terms of they started the year at bottom thereabout, and they've ended it on top. So in 2010, in terms of sheer calendar numbers, they make the mathematical case that
they've had the best year.
They've had the best year, in terms of, I mean, and it's a great story for the Premier League, because we were talking in the other show about La Liga. Nigel Pearson is really struggling to hold on to as much credit as you allow.
The BBC, I mean, if you live in England, the BBC are doing their part for Nigel Pearson's PR. Because all they ever bang on about is Nigel bloody Pearson and how he built this team. And essentially it's the same backroom staff. They weren't playing that kind of football. Jamie Vardy didn't look like that.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? The football that they've played has been amazing. It's been great to watch. They've been exciting, and it's kind of like in the old days. I think it was Rayo Vallecano used to say in Spain that the way they try and stay up is they realised that draws were kind of worthless to them, so they play to win every game. And obviously you lose a bunch, but
win a few.
It means your fans are happy as well.
How's that working recently?
Well, they're still up. They're still up for the time being.
They're breaking records.
Goal difference took a little hit, but but Leicester City are.
It's a good point.
Leicester City. Oh, thanks. Leicester City are fun to watch this season. They've been, the pace that they play with is great.
And will they be able to keep that going in 2016?
If a couple of guys go down, if Kante goes down, if Mahrez goes down,
I don't even think they have to go down.
To replace them.
Will they?
Yeah, I think they are propelled by self-belief, momentum, fitness, and desire. Whilst playing wonderful football and incredibly well motivated, it's how lucky they get with their injuries. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's how good that, and it will be how good that backroom staff is in keeping them all in one piece. That's it. I'd love to think that top four was a realistic shot for them now. I'd love to think that.
They've got a shot at it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? They're 5 points clear at the top. So everyone said they'll have to do the implosion that everyone is kind of half assuming is going to happen.
Does that mean they'll 100% finish the year on top, or is it there's a possibility? I mean,
they
need to win a game and then
they'll be top at Christmas.
They'll be top at Christmas, and that's amazing.
Well, that moves us nicely onto Chelsea finally, doesn't it? In 2015, their year, they've gone from to winning the title. Admittedly, not at a canter. Do you know what I mean? At a steady pace.
He'd be great in their midfield.
Who?
Kante.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some panic buys, isn't there? So
Do you think?
I hope so.
Yeah. There won't be panic. They need to buy people.
Surely Gus will come in and assess the team and say, right,
and then buy a couple of players.
Yeah, but what actually needs to be done here?
Well, he needs to rally the troops first and foremost. He needs to sort of basically get everyone playing for the team and giving 100% for the club, which clearly wasn't happening under Jose Mourinho. It's the old thing. I mean, it's exactly what Gianluca Vialli said on his show. He said that, at the end of the day, Colin Hutchinson and Ken Bates said to me that it's easier to remove a manager than it is 22 players. And I think that's a large factor of why Chelsea have, rather than get rid of Fabregas, Hazard, Costa, etc., it's easier to remove the manager. It also shows that Chelsea has perpetually always been a chaotic club. I mean, as far as I've known, I think you made the interesting point that you made about Mourinho going to Old Trafford would be a stab in the back, because they've outwardly at least given a unanimous support that it was the players, not the manager. Jose's one of us.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant. He's fucking shit.
And then if he goes to Old Trafford, do you know what I mean? I think he'll still be a Chelsea legend, but it would be. You'd think PSG would be a logical move for him, but 2015 is the year that his kind of legacy kind of project. Well, he showed that his psychological kind of approach. Possibly unsustainable. I mean, he's been at a few clubs now.
I think his legacy is still there, and I think we saw that in the first time he left Chelsea. His legacy sustained him.
No, I mean,
all the way until he came back. What I'm saying is
none of that is movable. What I'm saying is 2015 is the year he's hasn't been able to prove that he can do that beyond the short term. That's what I meant.
Of course, one of the main parts of Juventus doing so well was Alexis Vidal and the rise of the Chileans this year.
It's been a year for that. It's been a year of Chile, hasn't it? Because of how well their players have done in Europe. They won the Copa America.
Claudio Bravo as well.
Yeah,
they're doing very well with Barcelona. Mm-hmm. But Alexis Sanchez has been fantastic. Got his move to Arsenal and was able to have a more kind of central role. And he's so well loved in Chile that he really kind of inspired them to that, even when he wasn't necessarily at his best.
Scored the winning goal in the final, though. I mean, that's pretty definitive.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, he was up and down, but he still did what he had to do, and that's the important side. And of course, the coaching of Chile.
Yeah, Sampaoli has been incredible. He's put this high pressing, fast paced style in there, and they've done really well. We saw them beat Spain at the World Cup last year. And they seem to have gone to another level. But we'll see if they can sustain it in the future. But it's been good for Vidal and Alexis.
And of course, let us know in the comments below what you thought of 2015, what your highlight was. Maybe we've missed something or just didn't have time to put it in the video. So you guys can discuss it in the comments below. I'll be there. I'm sure you will. Both of you will in the comments below.
Oh yeah.
To be there in the comments.
Then pincering out anything naughty.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars spoilers. Don't do that.
Yeah.